How's it going, guys, and welcome to Season 2 of my Florida Panthers franchise mode series. First off, guys, I want to say thank you for all the support on Season 1. Didn't expect that, and I figured I'd pump out Season 2 as fast as possible for you guys as a way to say thank you. I did ask you guys a few questions in the last season, and I figured I would address them now. So I asked you guys if we should relocate or not, and the majority of you said no. Some people said yes, and there were some people that said wait until you start missing the playoffs and you're a bad team. The thing with that is we have only a 10-year franchise mode, and we have a very young core. I don't think we're going to start missing the playoffs. If we do, then I really messed up, and I guess we should relocate. But if that doesn't happen, you guys can let me know if I should just stay in Florida, or maybe like Season 8 or something. We can just relocate for fun. I'm also asking you guys if we should trade Luongo or not, and the majority of you said yes. He's getting old. He's going to retire soon. Try and get something for him. Also, we have Matt Murray, so it's not like we don't have a starting goaltender. Another thing I noticed, I didn't ask this, but a lot of people are actually wondering about the arena facilities, the prices, things like that. So I figured I'd show you guys that. Didn't really think too many people would be interested in it, so not going to spend too long on it. But as you guys can see here, owner happiness, amazing. Willingness to move, some. So if we did ask him to relocate, he probably still wouldn't even do it. I can also show you guys the owner goals for this year, as I don't think I've shown that yet. So the primary goal is to have 24 sellouts, which, I mean, if we're winning, that should happen. Secondary goals there. Beat Tampa Bay in their first meeting, which is October 16th. Second secondary goal is to boost the team chemistry to 78. So by 5 to 78. That shouldn't be too tough. If we make a trade, trading Luongo is probably going to hurt that, but winning games should help it. And then stretch goals there, more club seats. So that's, again, winning games should be able to help that out. State of the team there, we're actually considered a contender, so he expects us to make the playoffs. And he said once we make the playoffs, anything can happen, opposed to last year where he said he'd like us to make the playoffs, but if we didn't, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So for arena and facilities here, this is basically just keeping all your stuff up to date. You can repair it to make sure it still works, and you can even upgrade it. So as you guys can see here, concessions 16 out of 100, so that's fine. Once it gets red, you're supposed to repair it. The team store here you can see is under repair, same with the upper bowl and the bathrooms. All three of those I actually couldn't repair last year as we ran out of money. And for the start of the season, they were at 3 out of 100, so they were very bad. Definitely couldn't have let those stay there for the start of the season. But as we are a small market team, we don't really have that much money. And I think the only way to get more money is to win games and have the owner give us more money to spend. So I think the worst case scenario though is your fans probably stop coming to the games. So as long as we're still winning, I don't really care. At the end of the day, I just want us to win the Stanley Cup. Don't really care about winning money as long as we don't get fired. So it's a small thing, but I figured I'd let you guys know. Team rankings and sales, this is actually kind of cool. You can see how much money you're making. So we'll look at year to date, or actually no, we'll look at all time. So since we started, you can see Montreal Canadiens crushing it, of course. I think we're actually doing pretty well though. Yeah, we're actually 16th there at the 167 million. And our national popularity and team prestige are both 27th. So that's kind of where we should be at. So we're way above that. We're doing a lot better as we're playing well. Total game ticket revenue, we're actually at 42 million, the most of anybody. So that's pretty crazy. Not exactly sure what that means though, as next to it, or not next to it, but a bit down here you can see there's season ticket revenue. So I think game ticket revenue might just be walk-ins, people buying single ticket games. For total concession revenue, I don't charge a lot for the concession at all, as you guys will see. We're 21st there with 5 million. Total merchandise revenue, merchandise as we're a small market team probably isn't that great, and yeah, we're 18th there, so kind of expected that. Parking revenue, we're 1 million, the same as everybody except for there's some teams that don't make money on parking. That's actually kind of interesting. Total season ticket revenue, like I said, this is season ticket holders, and we don't have a lot of those, so we're 24th there. We did have a lot of people just coming in to see one game, and then you can see the stadium age here as well. So of course, Detroit there, the Joe's 38 years old, about to get the new arena. Edmonton has the brand new arena. I think the oldest one is technically Madison Square Garden. Yeah, New York there, 49, but it's been renovated a bunch of times, so doesn't quite count. So next, guys, here is your set price. This is, of course, where you set the ticket prices, concession prices. I have everything just above the minimum recommended price. I figured we are a small market team, but we've also made the playoffs last year, and we have a good team, so people should pay a bit more than minimum for our games. Concession here, like I was saying earlier, I have pretty much everything at the lowest recommended price. Some stuff I even have below, like pizza here is 20 cents below. Burger there is 50 cents below. I hate spending a lot of money on food in real life, so I figured why not just make my arena food cheap. Merchandise here I didn't even touch. There's so much merchandise. It would just take forever. I just left it be as it was. And then parking here, I have both of them. Regular parking is cheap as possible in terms of recommended, and then the valet I have at 30 bucks. I figured if somebody's parking your car for you, you can pay 30 bucks. It's double the 15 there. So that's pretty much it for like the arena, the prices, all that stuff. Probably won't show you guys it again, as I find it kind of boring, but if you are interested in it, you guys can let me know and I can show you guys more often in the episodes. A couple other things, guys, I almost forgot though, were the budgets and the promotions. So budgets is like how you want to spend your money. In terms of a marketing budget here, you can see we have general advertising, game ticket advertising, season ticket advertising. I always just leave this equal. I don't really know what happens if you switch it up, so I don't really want to risk it. Balance sheet here, this shows like how much money you're making, where you're making it. So season tickets there have made us 60 million. We haven't actually started the season yet, so concessions, parking, merchandise haven't made us any money yet. Operations budget, this is where your money's going. So player size, of course, is the biggest thing there. Then you have arena operations, promotions, advertising. I'm pretty sure I showed this last episode, but figured I would touch on it again. And then for the promotions there, I just let the like computer pick the promotion nights. But basically, you come here and on certain dates you'll have like a bobblehead night or whatever. But like I said, I just let the computer decide. So auto assign remaining nights. They'll pick what nights are bobblehead night, free t-shirt night, stuff like that. I don't really care. I'm just trying to win a Stanley Cup. So speaking of the Stanley Cup, guys, I figured I'd finally show you our lines heading into this season. First line here in the NHL, we have Huberdeau, Barkov, Jokinen. Second line, Vanek, Bukestad, Tatar. Third line, Marchesio, I believe is what people were saying. McCann and Smith. Fourth line there, CVR, Jokinen, Nystraddle. Defense here, we have Yandel, Ekblad, Demirs, Pissick, I think is what people were saying. I think I got that right last time. Mazaros and Petrovic. And then in goal here, of course, we have Luongo and Murray. In the AHL here, we have Grimaldi, Zingle, Chiasson, Lesio, Cullen, Brickley, McFarland, Knight, Shaw, Simpson, Malgin, and Turgeon. On D here, we have Matheson, Falk, Spruill, Marinson, Mikola, and Akalast. And then in goal here, we have Gruber and Bertan. So two pretty good teams, I think. Both teams made the playoffs last time. Expecting a bit more from the NHL team this time, probably about the same from the AHL team, maybe even a bit more. The AHL team is a bit better there. You can see 78 offense, 83 defense, 77 goaltending. NHL team here, 91 offense, 91 defense, 90 goaltending. So I think before we start the season, I'll probably try and make a Luongo trade, try and bring someone in early as not to affect chemistry too much, but other than that, should be good to start simming. So right here, guys, an offer I'm making Chicago for Paka. Very good young defenseman. Pretty much exactly what we're looking for. 23 years old, 85 overall, medium top 4D potential. Also on a very good contract there. Just under $3 million for the next 3 years. Trading them Luongo. Not sure why they want him, but I'm glad they do. He's still very good, though, even though he's like 38 years old, 88 overall. So him and Crawford would be a pretty good tandem. Also get them Mazaros, so basically fills Paka's spot. Retaining half his salary there. Only on a 1-year deal, though, so it doesn't really hurt us at all. Chiasson there, they're also interested in, so I figured why not add him. 3rd round pick in this year's draft and a 7th in next year's draft. So value's about double on our side, but they don't want to trade Paka, so we'll see if this is enough to make them say yes. And we have to call up Gruber, which means it is, so there we go. That's huge. So since we traded away Luongo, guys, we need a better backup goalie. Gruber at 78 isn't going to cut it. So I took a look at the free agent goalies, and look who's still available here. Ilya Bryzgalov, 85 overall, 37 years old, a year younger than Luongo. How he's still in 85, I have no idea. He wants 2 years at 4.6. I'm not giving him 2 years. I'll give him 1 year to back up Murray as he's in 86. That'd actually be a pretty sick pairing. And we have the cap space now after trading Luongo. We have 7.4 million. So for 1 year, he wants 4.6. I'd honestly give him 4 million for 1 year. I feel like that's probably an overpayment, but we do have the cap space. And if it gets him, I think that's actually a very good goalie situation. Murray 86 as a starter, Bryzgalov 85 as the backup. I just got this notification, guys, from the Pro Scout saying I wouldn't trade away players that you recently added so quickly. It won't help your GM rep, my 2 cents. That's in regards to Mazaros and Chiasson, but I don't care. I got a good deal out of it, so I'll do it my own way. Also, guys, Bryzgalov just rejected our offer, said we didn't offer him enough cash, so I guess we can offer him more money. We do have the cap space. I just don't want to offer him too much for a backup spot. Since I really want Bryzgalov, guys, I figured I'd just give him what he's asking for. And he's actually asking for less now. Instead of 2 years, he wants 1, which is what we wanted to give him anyway. And instead of 4.6, he wants 4.525. So I'll just give him that, and hopefully he agrees. And as you guys can see here, Bryzgalov did accept our offer. We gave him exactly what he wanted, so I'm glad to see that. We got 2 good goalies now. And that's a big upgrade to the team. Right here, guys, we're trying to make a huge trade with Carolina. One thing I noticed when I was trying to find a team to trade Luongo to was that they had both Bean and Fleury, and neither had that much trade value. As you can see here, Falk has a ton of value. Hanifin, Slavin, and Pask all have a good amount. McCown even has more than Bean and Fleury, which doesn't really make sense. They're both young, they're mid-70s, and they have low lead potential, so they're going to turn into at least a mid-80. And I don't really know why the value's so low, so I figured why not try and get both of these guys from Carolina. I'm offering them Gustafsson. He's the goalie we picked, I believe, in the 2nd round of last year's draft. Or, sorry, 4th round, but we stole him as he's a starter potential goalie. Good amount of value there. They want him. Two AHL prospects there. They want both of them, though. An unsigned prospect with bomb 6-4 potential, and our second round pick in 2020. So that's a couple drafts away. As you can see there, the value is definitely on our side. It's like double. They want all 5 things, but of course, they don't really want to trade away these 2 players, so you have to give them about double of things they want for them to say yes. So if they say yes to this deal, though, after adding Paka, our defense is going to be sick for like the next, 7-8 years, which is exactly what we're trying to do. So we'll see if they say yes to this deal. I think it's a huge deal if they do. Here we go. Trade accepted. That's awesome. So here's an updated look at our lines, guys, after the trades and the signing. The first and second line are the same. Third line here, we actually have Jokinen now, as he's gone to an 82 for some reason, so I'm happy with that. And then the fourth line there, you can see McCann is the new fourth line center. Defense now looks a lot nicer there with Paka on the second pairing. We have an 85 and an 84 opposed to an 82 and an 84. And then even the third pairing there, of course, with Mazzaro's leaving and Pisk going down to the bottom pairing, looks a lot better. Goalies there, Murray's now the starter, Brizgalov really solid backup there. So like I said, really happy with the team. I think that's a couple nice upgrades. AHL team here, we just lost a couple guys in like Chiasson and somebody else. So aside from that, the forwards there are all pretty much the same. And then defense here, you can see we added Fleury. He's got a minor top 4D role, so I want to try and keep him in the top 4 as much as I can. Falk here, I kind of signed to be like an NHL scratch, even though I'm starting him in the AHL until we get an injury. And then, of course, Beans in the CHL right now, same with Nolan Patrick. And then for the AHL goalies here, you can see we still have Gruber and Bertan. So I'm happy, guys, with those trades, those moves. Really excited to see what both the NHL and the AHL team do. And I think both teams actually went up a bit in rating. You can see AHL team's rating there along with the NHL team. So we'll send the first month here, see how we're doing, and see if we have to make any more trades. Right here, guys, Philadelphia is putting Taylor Lear on waivers. Pretty good player, actually. 78 overall, top 9 forward potential. And I just checked his age out. He's 23, so he's actually pretty decent. Would help the AHL team out, so I figured why not claim him. So I just simmed through October, guys. As you can see, we're only 5-5-2 right now, so not doing as good as I'd hoped, but I'm thinking we're just going to stay the course. It's only been a month. Not going to do any drastic changes here. Let the chemistry build up, hopefully. HL team, though, looking very good there, 6-2. So we'll see if we can have a better month here in November. We're now at the end of November, guys. We're actually below 500 now. We're 9-13-2, so not looking too good. Fan happiness there all the way down to 53. Looks like we have to upgrade and maintain some stuff, so I'll go do that. I'll maybe tinker with the lineup a bit, but other than that, I really like the trades we made. I don't know why it's not panning out. So December just ended, guys, and we're almost back to 500. Now 16-18-3. Don't really know what it is. I looked at the injuries. We had Jokinen injured. Other than that, though, no major injuries. So fan happiness has gone up a bit. We're bringing a bit more. Again, I really don't want to make a big shakeup after bringing in Paka, signing Brizgalov. So probably just wait till the end of January to decide what to do. That'll be the halfway point of the season. If we're back up to 500 or maybe even past 500, I think we can, don't have to worry about it as much. If we're still below 500, we'll have to make a move. So just simply the All-Star game, guys, which is at the end of January. As you can see, we're now finally over 500 with a record of 25-21-4. AHL team there, 27-13-4. Fan happiness is also up now to a 78, so pretty happy with that. Even the locker room chemistry there, 81, is really good. And on the last episode, someone said you can actually see who makes the All-Star game now. You just have to go to the updates and you can check it. So activity feed here, you can see Tavares made it, Ovechkin made it. I think if I click A on this, hopefully I can scroll and see who else made it. So yeah, there we go. Shea Weber made it, Jamie Benn, Drew Doughty, Carlson. So all the normal players. I'm just trying to see who made it from our team. Looks like McDavid made it. Subban and Weber both made it. That's kind of funny. Let's see here. I don't see any Florida. There we go. Nick Bukestad makes it on the All-Star game from our team, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So Bukestad having a good year. Made it to the All-Star game. That's cool to see. Speaking of that, guys, we're at the halfway point of the season, so I figured I'd show you where we're at in the standings as well as the player stats. As you can see, we're actually now in a wild card spot, which is awesome. I didn't actually know that yet. I figured, we were just above 500. We're probably fighting for one, but the fact we're in a wild card spot is a great turnaround. As you guys can see there, 4th place in the Atlantic with 54 points. 9-point lead on Boston, but they have 4 games in hand. We'll see here where we are in the entire league. Probably around the middle. Yeah, 14th actually, so 14th. If you're a top 16 team in the league and you don't make the playoffs, you got screwed one way or another. So good to see we're in a playoff spot. Thomas Tatar there looks to be our leading scorer right now. That's actually a bit surprising. We'll see who else is playing well. So both Tatar and Bukestad at 46 points. Like I said, Bukestad is crushing it. Smith there has 30 points in 47 games on the third line. Love to see him rebounding from not the greatest season last year. Yandel there, 30 points as a defenseman. Ekblad, 26. Huberdeau is 26. Vanek at 26. Barkov, 23. First line center, I'd expect a bit more from him, but what can you do? Jokinen has 20. playing first line minutes as well. Maybe might have to maybe give Smith some more ice time. Maybe move him up to like the first line. Keep Vanek on the second. Move Jokinen down to the third or something. We'll see. I might leave it the same since we are winning now. Marchesio, or whatever his name is. I can't say it. We'll just call him Marches. 15 points. Zingle there, 15 points. Had to call him up. Nystral is actually now an 83. He started the year at an 80. So he's gotten a big boost. Like to see that. Jokin there, how's he doing? 10 points. Paka, 9 points. Injured right now, but that's not bad for a defenseman. So overall, I'm glad the NHL team's rebounding. One thing that sucks, though, we had to call up Matheson, really good young defenseman, for an injury, and he'd have to go through waivers to send him back down. So he's basically just been a healthy scratch, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's better than losing him. Right here, guys, you can see the goalie stats. Murray has 35 games played, so 16 more than Brzgalov, 2.5 against, and a .915 save percentage. Brzgalov there, 2.3 against, .92 save percentage. So Brzgalov's stats are actually better than Murray's, which pretty surprising. Hopefully Murray can figure it out and turn it around. Looking at the AHL team here, guys, Logan Shaw has 38 points in 44 games, so he's playing really well. Lesio, 36. Malgin, I'm not even sure who this guy is. I think he might have been one of the guys we signed as like a free agent. 30 points. Sundstrom, 29. Grimaldi, 26. Brickley, 24. So AHL team looks to be doing pretty good. This guy is the waiver pickup. 16 points, 41 games. Not too bad. Hayden Fleury here, this is one thing I wanted to show you guys, is now an 80 overall. It's been like 3.5 months since we traded for him. We traded for him at a 76. He's now an 80, even though I did check, he's up 1 because of morale. So technically a 79, but with the morale boost, he's an 80. So I'm really happy with that trade already. Who knows how good, Jake Bean's doing in the juniors. Spruill there, 10 points. Falk, 10 points. So AHL team overall are looking good. They're going to have a very good playoff run, I think. Gruber here, 1.72 against, save percentage, .929. Even Bertan's got pretty good stats, so liking how both teams are looking. So we're now at the trade deadline, guys. We have a record of 29, 27, and 6. So February went okay. I think we might have had like one more loss than we had a win. AHL team there, 34, 15, and 6. The one thing that does suck, though, as you guys can see here in the standings, we're actually 1 point behind Boston now for that wild card spot. So trade deadline, we have a bit of cap space. We can try and find some player to help us out, maybe even 2. Definitely don't want to miss the playoffs this year. Going through the trading block here, guys, I noticed Calgary has Backlund on the block. He'd be a pretty good third-line center for us. 83 overall, 28 years old, so we can actually re-sign him and keep him for next year. 1 overall higher than Jokinen, but he's a lot younger, so I feel like he could be a pretty good add here if we can get him for the right price. So right here, guys, the offer I came up with for Backlund, trading them Sumala, top 9 forward potential prospect, but he's already 23 years old and only 69 overall, so he's really not going to get higher than a low 80 by the time his potentials ran out. Also getting them Lala. He's that backup goalie we drafted last year, and a 3rd-round pick in 2020. So not this year's draft or the next one, but the one after that. So pretty late, but they still have interest in it, which is good. Looks to be like the values on our side slightly, and they want all 3 pieces. They don't want Backlund. This should go through. Trade accepted. Alright, guys, so I just noticed Backlund is injured for the next 7 weeks, so I just traded for a player to help me make the playoffs, and he's not going to be able to play until like the last week or 2 of the season. So I don't know, that was kind of like our only option. The wingers out there are pretty much as good as our depth wingers. Are like 81 to 83, and our defense is fine in terms of, not having to trade away a ton to upgrade. So I think we're just going to keep the team as is and hope, we can play well enough to make the playoffs. Hopefully when Backlund gets back, he can play a few games to help us out, but other than that, yeah, we just really have to hope the sim is kind. So now at the end of March here, guys, with a record of 36, 32, and 9. AHL team there has a record of 40, 20, and 7. And this next game against Boston is huge. As you guys can see, we only have 5 games left to go in the season. We're currently tied with Boston in the standings. Both have 81 points. They have the wildcard spot, though, as they have more games played on us. So if we win this next game, that's huge. And then after that, we have 4 games left. If we win, I think at least like 4 of those 5 are in the playoffs. If we win 3 of the 5, it's really iffy. So the next 5 games are huge for us, going to decide the season. So as you guys can see here, we actually lost that game against Boston 4-1 at home on the promotion night. So that's pretty much it for our season, I think. We'll sim the last 4 games here. Even if we win the next 4 games straight, which we probably won't do, I don't think we make it into the playoffs. We pick up a point there against Tampa Bay in a shootout loss, then we get a win. So we're hanging on here. We're probably going to finish like 9th though in the East or whatever it is in the Atlantic. That makes it so we don't make the playoffs, unfortunately. Shootout loss there against Ottawa, a win against the Islanders. So we picked up a point in the last 4 games, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Our final record there, 38, 33, and 11. So this is going to be really disappointing if we didn't make the playoffs this year, as I kind of jinxed it at the beginning of the year when I said how we're going to make the playoffs every year. And as you guys can see, yeah, we finished there with 87 points. Doesn't look like we have a playoff spot unless there could be a chance maybe there's like another team playing, and depending how they do, maybe we could make the playoffs still. We'll take a look here at the standings. That's really our only hope here. So yeah, Boston 91 points, they're in the Central. No, Nashville with 93 points is also in. So I definitely jinxed it there at the beginning. I don't know why I said how we're not going to relocate, because we're never going to do bad. We're going to keep making the playoffs. Absolutely jinxed it. So that's disappointing. As you guys can see here, probably finished just outside the top 16. Yeah, we finished 17th. So we're the best team that didn't make the playoffs. That sucks, but sometimes that's just how it goes. And as you guys can see here, the leading scorers for this year, both Tatar and Bukestad, ended up actually tied. So they were tied at the halfway point, and they ended tied, 64 points in 82 games. Yandel there, 55 points as a defenseman. That's crazy. Ekblad had 50. Barkov there, 47. Expect a bit more from him. Huberdeau had 45. Smith had 45. Jokinen, 41. Vanek now an 81 overall. I think I signed him for 2 years. He wanted like 3 or 4, and I think I did 2. Definitely going to try and trade his contract for literally anything, or maybe we could even buy him out if he's only got 1 year left. Let's see, Backlund there still isn't healthy. I can't believe we traded for an injured player. Let's see the rest of the guys here, 20 points and all that, so not too bad. What did Jokinen do? 17 points, so he contributed a good amount. Paka there could have scored more, but he's still, a solid defense in there at 85 overall. Take a look at the 2 goalies too, see how they did. So Murray there, 2.62 goals against. That's not very good. 913 save percentage. Brizgalov had a 2.2 with .927. So Murray really needs to play better next season for us. AHL team here, guys. I think they still have a few games left, but Logan Shaw there, 55 points. Lesio, 50. Sundstrom, 47. Grimaldi, 45. Maligan, 44. Brickley, 40. So big drop up there to Fleury at 27, but still he's an 80 overall. Love that trade, and I think, the bright spot, I guess, of this season, even though we didn't make the playoffs, is that we have a very good young team. We have Nolan Patrick coming through, we have Fleury, we have Jake Bean, Murray's still young. I'm not too worried about it. I think we have a very good young team that will be competitive and hopefully in the playoffs right away next season. Also, guys, right here's a look at the AHL goalies. Gruber there, 1.73 against, .931 save percentage. Bertan there, 2.04 against, .928 save percentage. So pretty good stats for both of them. So right here, guys, are our owner goals. As you can see, we failed both of them. He wanted 24 sellouts this year. We didn't get that. Doesn't state how many we got, though. Considering how this season went, we probably got like 23. It also says we failed to boost the team chemistry by 5 to 78, which doesn't make sense because at one point we had an 81. So I guess it doesn't take into fact what the chemistry was at, only how we finished, which I don't know how I feel about that, but whatever. So as long as we don't get fired, we should be okay. So the AHL regular season is over, guys. As you can see, of course, we didn't make the playoffs. Had a really good record there. Finished with 93 points, 76 games. Actually third in our division, though. Our division looks really good there. 96 points for first place, Hershey Bears. 94 points there for the Phantoms. So the playoffs should be interesting. I think we play the Phantoms in the first round here. So hopefully the AHL team can have a bit more success than the NHL team. Have some bright spot to this season. So I'm not going to sim the AHL team playoffs game by game, as I feel like I don't really know most of the players. So I'd rather just kind of sim it like this and see what happens. So it's a best of 5 series. I'm already down by 2. Not looking good. There we go. That's a big win. If we can win this next one. There we go. Going to game 5. OT loss. So I mean, at least they made it close there. They didn't get swept. So overall, this season definitely wasn't optimal. But if we can have a good draft, a good offseason, I think we can come back strong in Season 3. So the draft lottery just happened, guys. As you can see, Detroit actually won the draft lottery. I think this is the first time Detroit will ever be picking first overall. So that's pretty cool. Carolina 2nd, Buffalo 3rd. And you can see all the way at the bottom there, we are picking 13th. So hopefully we can get a steal there in the middle of the first round. And right here, guys, they look at our retired players. As you can see there, Olli Jokinen and Matt Cullen both retired as expected. Jokinen was 39 and Cullen was 41. So both definitely getting up there in age. We'll take a look at all the players that retired. I'm guessing there's probably some, big names. Yeah, Marian Hossa, that's a big name for sure. Henrik Sedin, but Daniel Sedin didn't retire. So the twin is leaving his brother alone on the team. Jason Spezza, that's a bit interesting. 35 years old, already retiring. Jokinen, of course. Pominville, Cullen, Plekanec, Kunitz, Cronwall, that's a big retirement. Detroit's definitely in the rebuild. First overall pick. Cronwall's retiring. Stoll, Cook, Chimera, Umberger, Cleary. So Ehrhoff, Higgins, Bork. No one too crazy down here, but still some pretty big names retiring this year. So right here, guys, they look at the awards for this year. Stanley Cup champions, Washington Capitals. President's Trophy there, Chicago Blackhawks. Clarence S. Campbell, Edmonton Oilers. Back-to-back Western Conference champions, but can't get it done in the Stanley Cup. That's hilarious. Prince of Wales, of course, the Washington Capitals. Player awards there, McDavid with the Art Ross, so he's just carrying the team, which is probably going to happen in real life. You also got the Hart, Weber there with the James Norris, that's pretty funny too. McDavid with the Lady Bing, Matthews there with the Calder, so back-to-back Leafs winning rookie awards. So if he won it this year, he mustn't have played in the AHL last year, which is kind of weird. Conn Smythe there, Holtby, Gibson won the Vezina and the William Jennings. Bill Masterson there went to Emlyn. Selke went to Bergeron. McDavid also won the Ted Lindsay. And Tavares there with Maurice Richard. Ovechkin finally didn't win it. AHL awards here, let's see. Marlies with the Calder Cup. I don't think our team didn't win the division, but there's a look at all the teams that won team awards. Player awards here, we'll see if we won any. Arvidsson won one. Kopp got a couple. Montour, Ellis. Ellis won, yeah, he won that award last year for the best goalie in the AHL. Bebo there won the MVP of the Calder Cup. Shinkarok won Demonstration or something. Anderson's there with the Spirit Award. And then Gruber, he won an award with the goalie who had the team with the lowest goals against average. There we go. So we're at the draft now, guys, and I decided to just keep our 13th pick. I'm not too familiar with this draft. It'd probably cost a lot to move up, and Nolan Patrick was for sure worth it. I'm not sure if any of these other guys would be. Detroit there, though, with the first overall pick, took Volino. Second pick there was Franco. Third, Ronaldo. All elite potential. Del Monte there at 4 as low top 6. That's a rough pick for Columbus. 5th overall is a top 4D. Same with 6th overall. 7th's the top 6. 8th the top 6. Same with 9th. Top 4D at 10 and 11. Top 6 at 12. So we have pick number 13. Let's see what we can do here. If we could find an elite player at 13, that would be so big. So we'll see what's available here. Highest projected guy here is a grinder. Bomb 6'4" potential according to our scouts. So he's probably wrong, but grinders usually don't have higher than, like, I don't know, like top 9. So it's a bit interesting. This guy's apparently a top 9 guy. A center. We kind of more need a winger, though. This guy down here, exact top 9 forward. For sure top 9, first/second round. We're reaching at that point, though. Let's see. I think I might take this Greer dude. Top 9 forward is the highest there aside from the one that has exact. But he's supposed to go higher than the other guys, so maybe he is actually better. He's from, like, Austria, I think that is. Let's go for it. Let's see what he is. Please be good. Top 6 forward, that's not bad. That's at least, you know, what it should be. So our next pick, guys, is the 6th pick in the 4th round. We trade away both our 2nd and 3rd round picks, which I think I'm fine with. Both those picks ended up bringing in some better players. So here we go. Kudobin here, bomb 6 forward. High league interest. Power forward, winger, kind of a guy we need. We'll take a look at the exact here, though, and see if there's anything better available. And it looks like he is the best available, so who knows, maybe he's actually like top 9 forward, that'd be sick. Bomb 6, but that's still pretty good. We're here, guys, a trade I'm trying to make with Anaheim, trading them Thomas Vanek for their 4th and 5th round picks in this year's draft, as well as a 4th next year. They don't really care about any of those picks, and they actually want Thomas Vanek for some reason, even though, as I showed you guys earlier, he's actually now an 80 overall. He was an 81, I think, when I last showed you guys his overall. Now an 80, 34 years old, 3.6 million, 2 years left, really 1 year. As soon as like this season's technically over, it'll be 1 year. So would love to have him off the books. I probably could have maybe got a 3rd. I accidentally simmed out of the 4th round. I'd rather have picks in this year's draft to try and get some prospects that can either turn out to like AHL players or just be used as, you know, better trade bait than a 4th or 5th round pick. So if they say yes to this, that's huge. I'd honestly trade him at this point for like a 7th. Here we go. Trade accepted. I can't believe they said yes. So we now have pick number 24 in round 4. This, of course, is the Anaheim trade. Also, what I like there in the message center, you can see Ducks have acquired Vanek in a trade, so that's pretty cool. Still can't believe they did that trade. Like, he's 80 overall. His morale was down, though, so maybe he'll bounce back to like an 83, but even if he's an 83, I still like that deal for us. So right here, we're pretty much taking a chance at any of these guys for exact. They're all AHL. I'm going to take a look at goalies, as we did get lucky last year with a 4th round goalie pick. These are all AHL fringe starters, and there's some unknowns. So let's sort by projected here. 4th/5th round, high league interest. Let's go for them. Please be good. Lettinen, backup. That's actually not too bad. We're now picking 6 guys in the 5th round, so I'm not sure whose 5th round pick this is. I think it might be, honestly, I actually don't remember. It's not ours. It's not Anaheim's. Let's see what we can get here. We just took a goalie last time. Again, it's all AHL, so probably just going to go by projected. This guy's got high league interest. McGregor. He's a sniper. Maybe he's related to Connor McGregor. Here we go. AHL top 6, so not great, but not terrible. Our next pick here, guys, in the 5th round is pick number 13. We'd love to just get anyone that's above AHL potential, essentially. Gotta get lucky, though. This guy here, Shirkov, 5th/6th, high league interest. I think this is Estonia he's from, so there's not like there's any scouts out there. Maybe he's like the next Nick Lidstrom. No one knows it. Here we go. Please be good. 7th D, so pretty good. So we actually have 3 picks in the 5th round, guys. Pick number 24 here is the Anaheim pick. So, so far, not bad, but, you know, definitely not great. Let's see. This guy's got highly interest, another defenseman. This guy's completely unknown. He's a sniper. Just completely unknown, but he's there for some reason. Pavlik. I'm feeling him for some reason. Let's see what he is. AHL top 6, so whatever. We got pick number 13 now, guys, in the 6th round. Hoping to make up for that 5th round. Wasn't too great. You just need 1 steal. There's a couple more goalies available here. Lettinen, I thought that's who we drafted. So there's another Lettinen available maybe. Lasko. Could we go for 2 Lettinens and like maybe, you know, get lucky? Let's just do it. Restock the goalies, and as you can see, he's got backup potential. So restocking the, you know, goalie prospects there, not bad. And that was actually our last pick in the draft, guys. I thought we had 2 6th round picks. Made that mistake. So here were our picks. I think they went pretty well. I think that 1st round pick should really help us out. Even though we need a winger more so than a center, that's all right. And the depth picks weren't great, but I mean, they can just be used for trades more than anything, which is always good, especially when they're not signed yet. They're easy add-ons to help a trade go through. So we're at the re-sign phase now, and as you can see, we have $16.4 million in cap space, which I think should be enough to re-sign everybody. The only like big name player we actually have to re-sign is UC Jokinen, I think. So really no one that's going to cost a lot. Backlund here needs a new deal. Didn't play a single game for us last season. He's going to be a perfect 3rd-line center, though, I think. And that's something we've desperately been needing. Jared McCann was like an 81. Jokinen was like an 82. So I'll offer him like 3.65 for 2 years. That should be good to get him signed. McCann, I guess, will stay as a 4th-line center. I don't think he's quite, you know, he's more of an offensive guy, but really he's our only option right now. Wants a 1-year deal. He can have that. Zingle there, 26, 79 overall. So he's basically done growing. Don't really need him anymore. Knight, definitely going to let go there. But he would help out the AHL team. Maligan there's a 79, a couple 76s, a 73. I'll let him go for now. Maybe, like, I don't know, if there's no one else better in the AHL, we'll sign him. Masherin here, he was a rookie that was already drafted on the team. Finally signing him. He's got decent potential there, medium top 9. Hopefully he can turn out into something. That McGregor guy is 54 overall. That's kind of funny. For wingers here, so Jokinen's 35, 86. Don't really want to pay him too much. He wants 4.6 for 2 years. Paying him until he's 37. That's so risky. Even though he is 86 overall, so he's kind of like a Yager, but not quite as good. He wants 4.8 for 1 year, so I'm thinking I'll give him 4.4 for 1. Hopefully he'll say yes. I think anything more than 1 year is just too risky. Brickley here, 26 and 80. I think I can let him go. Really don't need him. Grimaldi there, 25, 79. Solid AHL player. Can even just call him up to the NHL, I guess. Give him 800K for 1 year. Lesio, probably going to get like the exact same deal. He wants a bit more. I'll give him like 925. He also has no interest in a 2-way deal, which is kind of exactly what I want to give him. So I'm going to have to qualify Lesio then, see if he says yes to that. Lear here, 24, 78 overall. Low top 9. That's the guy we picked up off waivers, so I'll give him 800K. I think he's a solid AHL guy. Right wings here, Marches wants a new deal. 81 overall, 27 years old. He wants like nothing, 850K for a couple of years on a 2-way. I can definitely give him that. Nice straddle. He was at an 83 last year, came down. I'll give him like 875. Maybe he can get back up. CVR, 29 and 80. I think I can just let him go. I think we don't really need him on the team anymore. Lost Thomas Tatar, lost morale, whatever. Raway here, 23, 73 overall. I'll give him a new deal. Hopefully he can get back up there in the next couple of years. 650K. That's really cheap. Defense, so our top 6 is all signed, which is good. One thing though, Yandel was an 87, I think, last year. Now he's an 85, 31 years old, making $6 million for the next 5 years. So I'm honestly considering just trading Yandel. Like that $6 million deal till he's 36 is gonna kill us, especially if he keeps like regressing like this. He'll be like a 78 by the end of it. And even though he's 85 now, I'd honestly rather just trade him for anything and then hopefully sign like a big name defensive free agent. Demers there is not honestly that great a contract either, but about $2 million less, 2 years less, and he's a year younger, so it's not terrible. Petrovic and Pissick there both only have 1 year left at $2 million, which isn't too bad. Falk here, I basically just signed as an insurance option if anyone got injured, so I'll let him go. Fleury there, you can see he's an 80 now, which is awesome. Matheson dropped to an 80 as he was scratched most of the last year, which sucks, so definitely need to get him playing in the AHL. I'll give him like the 900k two-way deal. Sproul here is now an 80. He wants an 800k two-way deal. That's fine. Marincin there, 26, 79. We'll just let him go. Let's see who else needs a new deal. Jake Bean's locked up long term. No other defenseman needs a deal. And finally, the goalies here. Brizgalov needs a new deal. 38 years old. I'm actually surprised he didn't retire. 84 overall, so he's gone down one, but he had a solid season last year. If he wants less than what he did last year, I'd definitely be willing to sign him. He wants way less. He to 1.7 million. That's a big pay cut. Let's see if he takes 1.5 for 1 year. He'd actually be a pretty solid backup there behind the young Matt Murray. Bertan here, 26, 73 overall. Letting him go. I could find a better goalie in the free agency for sure. And that's it for the signings. So hopefully everyone says yes. We should actually have a good amount of money here to spend in free agency. So Michael Backlund rejected our offer. He said he wants to win now. Doesn't think our team's in a position to do so. More money will change his mind. So we'll see if we just give him exactly what he wants if he says yes. Nitrile accepted. Jokinen accepted. Marches, McCann, Sproul, Lear, Grimaldi, Matheson, Brizgalov. Gave him a little bit less than he wanted, so I'm glad he said yes. Masherin, Rouet. So I think everybody said yes but Backlund. So we'll give him a new offer and then get to the free agency period. So Michael Backlund wants $3.8 million for 2 years, so that's exactly what I'm going to offer him. Hopefully he'll say yes. We really need a third-line center. He'd be the perfect fit for that role. Now, as you guys can see here, Backlund did accept our offer, so that's awesome. I think we have about $10 million now to spend in free agency, so should be able to get a good player. Before we get to the free agency period, guys, I updated the trading block. I have both Smith and Yandel on the block. They're both 85 overall, solid players, but they're both way overpaid, and they have way too long of deals. Smith isn't too bad, like $5 million for 4 years, 85 overall. I'd prefer to pay him like $3 to $4 million, and the 4 years isn't actually a big deal because he's only 27. Yandel, on the other hand, is a terrible contract. He's like 31. He's going to start regressing. $6.3 million for the next 5 years. Like, if by year 2 he's like an 83 making 6.3 with still years left, like, no one's going to want him. So I think the time to trade him would be now while he still has value. And which kind of sucks because I think I said earlier when I jinxed it how we're going to make the playoffs all 10 years. Already messed that up. And I feel like with these bad deals, it's honestly better to just get rid of them. Even if we take, 1 step or 2 steps back, we take 5 steps forward because of it. It's definitely worth it. Also right here I have Lesio on the block simply because he wants a 1-way deal. I offered him a 2-way deal. He's currently just got a qualifying offer. If someone like offers a 4th round pick or higher, they can have him. So rather than wait for a team to make us an offer, guys, I decided to go out and try to find a team to trade Yandel to. I think that Dallas is interested in both him and Lesio, so we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. I'm trying to get Matthew Strome back, who would honestly be perfect for us. We already have Barkov, Bukestad, and now Backlund down the middle. We have Ekblad on D with Paka. We have Fleury and who's the other one? Jake Bean coming up. We also have Nolan Patrick at center coming up. Good young goalie in Murray. We really need wingers. Outside of Huberdeau, we need a winger. Matthew Strome's a beast. 19 years old, 64 overall. Medium top 64 potential. Drafted with the 7th pick in last year's draft. If Dallas says yes to this, that's huge. It also gets us more money for free agency. So here we go. Trade accepted. Awesome trade. So now, guys, we're going to go take a look at free agency. See who we can get. So we have $12.7 million to spend. The top free agents here are both Stassi and Turris, who are centers we don't really need. Jack Johnson, though, he could basically replace Yandel if we sign him. 31 years old, 87 overall, wants 5.9 for 3 years. No one's interested in him yet. This is the first day of free agency, though. And we're also a hopeful team now opposed to a contender or like a champion, so we might have to pay people a bit more. Cam Atkinson could also be a very good pickup. Thing is, we'd be paying him almost as much as Riley Smith, and he's the same overall, and I don't really like that contract, so don't really want to know if I want to sign another player to that contract. Jack Johnson, though, I'm definitely interested in on the short term. I'm trying to rebuild while also staying competitive, which is one of the hardest things to do, but I think we can do it. So Jack Johnson here, I'll give him $6 million on the dot for 3 years. So that's, I think, 2 years less than Yandel, and I think it's like $500K less. Also, Jack Johnson's 2 overall higher, so if he says yes to this, I'm happy with it. Like I said, Smith's pretty much the same player as Atkinson, so I'd basically be signing a second Smith. Doesn't really make sense. Let's see. Cogliano could actually be a huge add for a depth winger. We really could use some like better third-line wingers. So I'll give him like, he only wants 2 years. I'll give him 3.2 for 2 years. Or actually, I'd give him 3.3 for 2 years. Really help out our bottom 6. We could use the help. So that gives us about just under $4 million left to spend. Griffin Reinhardt here, I don't know if I have the draft picks assigned, but I'm definitely going to try. I still got top 4D potential, so let's see. Let's see if I have the draft picks. This year's second round pick. Okay, so I do have the picks. So let's make him a deal. I think I only have about this much left. So 3.5 for 2 years, this year's second round pick, I'm definitely willing to give up on return for Griffin Reinhart. So I don't think I can sign any more UFAs, but we can try and sign some two-way guys to entry-level deals that have high potential. All right, guys, so here are the best potential two-way players. Doob here, top 94 potential, 19, 69 overall. One team interested in Toronto, so we'll give him 925K. That's the max. CV says yes. Benson here, 20 years old, 75 overall already. He's going to be a beast. Low top 9 forward, already 75. I'll give him the max as well. If he plays in the AHL, then that salary doesn't even matter. He gets an AHL salary. This guy here, top 6D, 20 years old, 69 overall. Two teams interested, so we have to outbid them. So basically, giving him the max as well. Siemens here, 24, 76 overall. A couple years left to grow. I don't think I'm even gonna bother not making him an offer. This guy here, 20 years old, 65 overall. I'd give him an offer. I'll give him like the minimum. Hopefully no other team, sees him, makes an offer. I'm also looking for a backup goalie here, guys, and I'm looking for somebody that's young, still has room to grow. So this guy here, 23, 75, he'd kind of be the perfect player for that. Hrachovina, I think you'd say his name. No other team's interested, so we'll give him the 1-year deal he wants. This guy below him looks pretty decent too, 20 years old, 71 overall. We have the roster spots, so why not give him like an entry-level deal? Worst case scenario, we use him in a trade. So as you guys can see here, Deanan accepted our offer. He was the one we gave the minimum offer to. Doob accepted our offer. Toronto also wanted him. Luckily, he went with us, though. We get to give him the max deal. Same with this guy here, top 6D potential. So we'll see if any of the NHL guys accept our offers. Andrew Cogliano did. That's good. We gave him, like, I think 300K, 400K more than he wanted. Reinhardt accepted our offer as well, but Edmonton has a chance to match. So if they match, we don't get them. But if they do match, or if they don't match, we have to give them our second round pick. But I think Reinhardt would be worth it. This goalie also accepted our offer, so that's a solid AHL backup. Benson accepted our offer. He looks really good. 75 overall, top 94 potential, at only 20 years old. The other goalie accepted our offer as well, so still waiting to hear back from, who's that big guy? Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson accepted. That's huge. I gave him like 50,000 more than he wanted, but no other team gave him an offer, I guess, and he signed with us. So basically just replaced Yandel with a slightly better player on a cheaper deal for less years, so worked out perfect. And as you guys can see here, Edmonton decided they're not willing to match our offer for Griffin Reinhart, so we get Griffin Reinhart in exchange for a second round pick, which I think is a very good deal. Solid young defenseman. Our defensive core is just getting that much better. And like I was saying earlier, guys, I'm looking for some more wingers, as our Dom 6 could definitely use some work. Tyler Kennedy here, 31 years old, 82 overall, only wants 1.45 million, so he actually is pretty cheap. Like here's 4 years older than him, wants 400K more. Lada's 4 years younger, but he wants 400K more, even though he's the same overall. So I feel like Kennedy's actually a pretty big steal here if he accepts our deal. So he wants 3 years, which is a bit much. I'd rather give him 2. And he wants 1.675 at that point. But if he takes 2 years, 1.5 million, that's a good deal, I think. And as you guys can see here, Tyler Kennedy did accept our offer, which is awesome. So I think our team's going to look really good next season. So after signing both Johnson and Reinhart, guys, I really didn't need one of either Pisk or Petrovic, as one of them would be the 7th D, 82 overall, making $2.5 million. Don't really want to pay that. Plus, I could probably get something for it. So trying to trade Pisk right now to New Jersey for Brian Boyle. I'm adding this Roche defenseman, 7th D potential, decent amount of value though, with a 7th round pick in next year's draft. Brian Boyle would be like the perfect 4th line center, 83 overall, 88 shot block, 90 stick check. He's huge. Could move Jared McCann to the wing, or even have McCann play in the AHL. I think that might help him out, as he's not growing really at all, playing 4th line center for us. So we'll see if they say yes to this deal. They don't really want to trade Boyle, but I noticed his morale was down, so maybe they actually will. Here we go. Trade accepted. That's huge. As you guys can see here, I still have 1.1 million in cap space, and even though we're not really supposed to spend to the cap, I think our owner likes us spending like 7 or 8 million below it. I figured we have to make up for not making the playoffs last year, so if we spend to the cap but make the playoffs, I'm sure he'll be fine with it, like he was the first season. So I'm going to try and sign Nate Thompson here, really solid 4th line winger. And I think he's more of a 4th line winger than, say, like the other guys we've had who have been kind of like AHL players that have just been playing 4th line. Thompson's actually got better defensive and physical category stats, so hopefully they'll say yes to that, just make our bomb 6 a bit better. Right here, guys, an offer I got from Dallas for Riley Smith. They're offering me Kerry Lettinen for Riley Smith. Don't need him at all. I already have Murray and Brizgalov, but figured I'd share that trade offer with you guys. And as you guys can see here, Nate Thompson accepted our offer. He's now an 80 overall. I'm guessing just because his morale went down, so he should go back up to an 81. Be a solid 4th line grinder for us. Right here, guys, we're trying to make a big trade. This time I'm trying to trade for Mikko Rantanen. Similar to both Hayden Fleury and Jake Bean, he's got low lead potential, and for whatever reason, not a lot of trade value. As you guys can see, he's actually got less trade value than Joe Colborne, but he's 21 years old, 82 overall. He's going to turn into an absolute stud. Would love to get him now while we still can. I'm offering Colorado Jason Demeris, who they want. Solid defenseman, 84 overall, but kind of like Yandel, 30 years old, overpaid, making $4.5 million for the next 3 years. We can get this contract off the books. That'd be awesome. He has more trade value than Rantanen, but they don't really want to trade Rantanen. I'm also adding Gruber here, our AHL backup. Just signed that 75 overall kid who actually has potential. I kind of want him to start and actually, you know, play games and gain potential. So we kind of basically have to get rid of him. Since they want him, might as well add him on there to hopefully make sure this deal goes through. And then basically what I'm thinking is Hayden Fleury would probably get called up, play in the NHL. Even if he's only like an 80 overall, playing bottom pair minutes, hopefully that'll help grow his overall faster. And I think we'll still have a solid decor with a sick winger here and Rantanen, which, like I said, I really wanted some wingers. That's something we really needed. So we'll see if they say yes to this trade. Would be huge for us. Here we go. Trade accepted. That's awesome. So we're at the end of the summer now, guys, and one thing that's kind of funny I want to show you is the owner happiness here is now terrible. Not only did we miss the playoffs last year, even though we just missed, we also, I don't think, met any of our goals, or we might have made 1 of 4. I'm not exactly sure, but he's not happy. As you can see, though, his willingness to move has actually gone up. It's still some, but like the bar is much more full. One good thing, though, the goals for like this coming year, we've already made one. They show up like as soon as you kind of like start the preseason, which is actually where we're at right now. And the one thing he asked me to do was build a new parking lot, so I went and did that already. And as you can see, too, the state of the team is a contender, so we have a better state than we did last year. Last year, I think we were hopeful, so the team's in a better spot. I don't know why he's being so mad, just because of 1 year of, you know, unlucky, not making the playoffs. Figured, too, guys, I would show you both our NHL and AHL lineups. We are looking very, very good. NHL team so much younger, contract situation so much better, and the AHL team's absolutely stacked. So NHL team here: Huberdeau, Barkov, Tatar on the first line, Smith, Bukestad, Jokinen on the second, Cogliano, Backlund, and Rantanen on the third, Kennedy, Boyle, and Thompson on the fourth. Kind of mad Thompson was an 81 when we signed him, now a 79, but hopefully that can go back up. Defense here, guys: Jack Johnson 87, Ekblad 91, Paka and Reinhardt both 85, so Reinhardt actually went up too, so that's good. And then Sproul now an 82, and Petrovic 82, both on the bottom pairing. Goalies here, we have Murray still an 86. That low elite potential really hasn't come through yet. He hasn't gained any overall since we traded for him, but hopefully this year if he plays well, he will. And then Brizgalov there backing him up, now an 83 overall, but as long as he doesn't drop below like an 81, that's fine for the backup. AHL team here, guys, is absolutely stacked. So first line, we have Tyler Benson, who we just signed. Starting the line is Nolan Patrick, 81 overall, so by next year we'll have him in the NHL. And at that point, I guess, I don't even know. Bukestad goes to third line center. Either Backlund or Boyle's playing fourth line. Trade the other one. Like, we're so stacked down the middle now. I love it. Nystradl there, 82 for first line right wing. If someone gets injured, he'll be the first call up. Marchese there playing with McCann and Grimaldi. So McCann's gone from, I think, third line NHL center at the start of last year. Third or fourth line, either way, he was in the NHL. Now second line AHL guy. 80 overall. Like I said, he just isn't panning out. Playing with Grimaldi there. Third line there, we have Lear, Malgin, who's an 81 now, which is really good, and Shaw. So, like, the AHL team looks stacked. They should win it all this year. Fourth line there, McFarland, Vejdemo, and Turgeon. And then even on D, you can see Hayden Fleury's an 82. Simply called up Sproul because he had the role of a top 6 D, whereas Fleury still is a depth D. Also, Fleury's younger. First line minutes in the AHL is probably better than bomb pairing in the NHL. Playing with him is Matheson, who's an 81. Second pairing there is Mikkola, Bean, who's a 79, Nico, and Akalas. So AHL team, like I said, they're just awesome. Starting goaltender here, Hrachovina. He was 75 when we signed him, now 77. Backup there is 73. So can't wait to see what the AHL team does. I honestly think they could just go on an absolute tear. Like, Nolan Patrick could be like an 84 or something by the end of the year. So who knows how good the AHL team is going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this season. I'll show you guys to the overalls before we end it. And then, like last time, you can let me know if we should ask to relocate or not. I'm not positive, but I believe what happens is if you ask to relocate, he'll decide if you can or not by the end of the year. So, like, if you guys tell me to relocate at the end of this episode, I will do it at the start of the next one. We'll be in Florida for Season 3, and then come Season 4, we'll be in the new place. Pending we don't get fired. If we get fired, that'd be so embarrassing, but I mean, our team is stacked. We better not get fired. So, AHL team here, guys, 82 offense, 82 defense, 78 goaltending. NHL team here, 91 offense, 92 defense, 87 goaltending. So, really happy with the moves we made. I think our team is set to get back into the playoffs, and the AHL team is set to make a run at the Calder Cup. So, thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. Have a nice day. Goodbye.